It may have been 3 months, but it's finally time to enjoy some new Digimon comics again. Now, of course, this is no new anime or no new video game or anything, but this is something that we've been looking forward to since August. The Digimon Comic Contest winners, they came out with Chapter 1 in August, but now they're coming out with Chapter 2 this month, which is available for free right now on Digimon.net. So you can go and read them for yourselves. You don't have to take my word for it. These 5 stories are a continuation, as you might expect. If you liked a lot of the ones of what they were doing in Chapter 1, you are likely to enjoy what they're doing in Chapter 2. And I don't know about you, but I've been more excited to read these than I have been about reading much of what Digimon Liberator has been doing, though the novel's coming there soon enough, so hopefully we'll have something there to look forward to. Besides the one random battle here we're getting in issue 8, but that's a whole nother story. But let's look into what these 5 stories are and what they've been giving us. I will be going through them in the order from lowest to highest ranked of me personally. Of course, I don't think any of these stories are bad, but I think that there are definitely some things that are more what I'm looking for from Digimon than not. I will be keeping this relatively free of spoilers as we're still fairly early on with these things being released. So, let us first look at my 5th on the list, the Mini Royal Knight story. Now, this is just something that isn't exactly what I'm looking for. Sure, if you are looking for something that will give you a little chuckle, it does have some of the funniest moments in any of these stories. But don't go into this thinking that there's any real deep characters and developed story and villains and stuff here. I mean, there's some background of that may have the tiniest bit of something coming up, but it's much more about the jokes of Wanyamon being a complete fanboy of the Royal Knights, going around meeting Royal Knights, them being, well, not actually fighting evil. Honestly, sometimes even more being at each other's throats than anything else. And Dynasmon being very tired of this little Wanyamon, even though he still decides to keep him around. I don't really know why. So yeah, if you enjoyed it in the first chapter, you are getting much of the same in this chapter. You will get pretty much the same jokes, level of quality in it. So, if you, like I said, doesn't have the material and concept of it that I'm really looking for in a Digimon story of this type, so that is why it lands at rank 5 on my own personal list. Now, surprisingly for me at rank 4 for these chapters is Digimon Recollection, because Digimon Recollection had a lot of heart about it, with the bond of sister and brother to it, had a lot of re-meeting Agumon for the first time, and that partner bond. It had a lot of heartfelt moments to this. This chapter is just, what is going on? There are so many battles, so many random Digimon around the city, so much stuff going on, that it would take me a long time of rereading it and going through every single panel with you guys to try and explain what the heck is going on in this comic right now. So it went from something very heartfelt to, well, if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, love... Oh no, this is actually way too fast for Dragon Ball Z. You had to charge up for 3 episodes there. So I'm not... It is a lot of chaos. We have another 2 issues to go in this one, and it does leave itself on a little bit of a cliffhanger, so maybe there's something there that we could possibly build on into something more. But we will have to wait and see. So, it was a very surprise as it was my number 2 pick in the last chapters, but just, I'm not even 100% sure where it's going or what it's doing right now. But maybe time will tell. Number 3 on my list is Digimon Knuckles. Now, this is the one that's about Genkamon being a father or babysitter to a young man. And, again, it is rather similar to it before. There's a little bit more talking between them. They're becoming a little more together. They're trying to do a little more character growth with the kid who's trying to grow up. And I understand they only have 4 chapters to do that with, so they do have to rush through some of this stuff. But again, it's a Royal Knight. Am I really scared that he's going to possibly lose anything? I mean, some of these comics do tend to not realize how important and big a mega is, especially a Royal Knight that's supposed to be a pretty special mega on top of that. So it does add more stakes, more interesting things. There's still, the story of the disappearing people and what that could possibly be about. So there is something there that could develop into more of a story. But it's why it's a fine one. It's why it ranks number 3 on my list. Now climbing up quite a bit, number 2 on my list this time is The Crossroads Witch. Now, this one is the one that's written by the same people as Seekers. It's a kind of continuation of it, though right now we were in the past. It looks like possibly we're moving into present day with that, which I don't know what present day honestly means. Or, 5 years later, if that means we're actually now going into present day, or like in the time of the epilogue, or at the time of Digimon Secrets was happening. I'm not real clear on that just yet. But there was a lot of clever stuff here. There was good ideas to use the mechanics that Secrets has already developed for us nicely with the Digicores and working with their partner like that to do things you couldn't really do in other seasons, and tricks that I always enjoy, that kind of creativity that shows that the writers know what they're talking about and working on different things. That was very cool. The biggest problem is again, I'm trying not to do too many spoilers here. There is too much that happens for a partner and Digimon that have just met that day. I mean, this is coming from the same story that had AG going to Ultimate for the first time, to Mega for the first time, well, the proper Ultimate for the first time, to the Mega for the first time within an hour of each other in game time, in world time. So I'm not too surprised to see that happen, but who knows? With another time jump, and who knows what else is going on with that one. But like I said, overall, it had enough creativity and interesting things happening that it rose up to number 2 on my list. And reigning supreme at number 1, just like it did in the first round, is Digimon Paradox. I think this is by far still the best one that they're putting out right now, including very much more interesting than Liberator to me, even the official one. It has just characters that you can really feel for and understand. It has given us the time with these characters, especially the main 3, to really understand them. There is a lot of conflict within their interests, at least for Eve, especially, that the others are kind of trying to win her over and work her through. There's other twists of other things that have been happening. It's so hard to talk about this one without getting too deep into spoilers, but it respects how, at least a little bit, how strong the Digimon they're fighting is at first, though then again it goes down a little easy, so it's not perfect, but it definitely has a lot of nuance to it. It adds another layer of what's going on with the future stuff, how the future is, what's been happening with travel. There's so much going on with it. Could it still mess it up? Could it completely break everything with the time travel and paradox and really confuse things? And I hate time travel usually, so could it fall apart and not be my favorite? Absolutely. It could certainly do that. But right now, I am very much enjoying it. And if you haven't read any of them, I highly recommend you go read Digimon Paradox right now, if you agree with most of my takes on Digimon, as you know. If you've subscribed here, you probably know what I like, and you probably like it too if you decided to subscribe and keep coming back. So those are the new Digimon comics. If you are looking to purchase these, it does seem like the first volume did come out. Unfortunately, it's only in Japanese, so if you're looking to actually have a physical English Digimon manga, unless they release one later, it still doesn't seem like we're going to get one of those. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to know more about the Digimon comics from the first batch, there is a video over here that will tell you all about those first set of releases.